I can never respect the supposed spirituality of someone who says that reincarnation is an awful thing, that they believe that reincarnation into this world, into this samsara, this illusion, is a bad thing, but they go on to have children anyway. All of the ancient religions teach that this world is literally a hell, that this world is a corrupt and evil place. Many of the great spiritual leaders from the past have established this. The Buddha, he taught the noble truths that everything in this world is suffering, and that man and his procreation is the root cause of the continuation of suffering, pain, old age, and death. The Buddha taught that. Even Jesus, in one of the synoptic gospels, says that the time will come when you will say, blessed are the women whose breasts will not nurse, and whose wombs will not bear children. Blessed are the infertile women, in other words. Blessed are the women who will never have children. Because this understanding has gone back for thousands of years. This is nothing new. Pessimism in its modern form is nothing new. Anti-natalism in its modern form is nothing new. These are deeply spiritual concepts. It comes from an awareness and understanding from within that something is fundamentally wrong in this world. Something is deeply, deeply wrong here. Everything is abhorrently evil, is corrupt. The backdrop of this very existence is suffering, agony, and pain. Everything that is sentient lives and feels pain and will experience death. So knowing these things, it's very confusing to me that someone who would have these beliefs about the world and about reincarnation would still choose to have children, would still opt to have family, to bring more life into this demiurgic world of suffering and disease and sorrow, into this samsara, into this hell, this illusion. How can you be spiritual and see nothing wrong in that? What has your spirituality accomplished beside you bringing down another spirit to suffer in corrupt, decaying matter? You should feel ashamed of yourself. You shouldn't call yourself spiritual because you are, in fact, in league with the demiurge. You are doing exactly what this entity wants you to do. You are feeding it more victims. You are producing more playthings for it to consume and destroy. And from your own selfishness and from your own ego, you think that this is nothing wrong, but it is. How can you hold these beliefs and still do that? I don't understand it. If you're going to say that reincarnation is bad, and it is, if it exists, if you're going to say that, then your spiritual enlightenment should have kicked on and realized that, no, I'm not going to do this. Your spirit should have been strong enough to say, I resist this God. I resist the demiurge, and I will not have more children. I will not bring more babies into his world to be food, to suffer and die. I reject the Creator and his creation. That's what your spirit should have said. That's what your spirituality should have led you to, the understanding that this world is inherently flawed. It is inherently evil. It is subject to pain, death, and sorrow. That's why I don't respect these modern forms of spirituality, these Pollyanna type spirituality that says, oh, everything is great. Oh, the world is a wonderful place. Mother Earth, Mother Create, all this bullshit. The earth doesn't give a fuck about you, people. It's not your mother if you haven't paid attention. Nature devours itself. It devours other creatures. Nature puts disease in children. Nature strikes down the innocent. Nature produces sorrow and decay. And you're going to praise that, but you're some kind of spiritual person? Get the hell out of here. I don't want to hear about your spirituality, because to me it's non-existent. That's why I admire the consistency of the left-hand path, the left-handed Gnostics, the anti-cosmic Satanists, and so on and so forth. These groups who recognize that this material world is inherently corrupt. It is flawed at its very core and deserves nothing more than to be destroyed. Nothing in the material universe is worth saving. It should be destroyed. It should be annihilated. If your spirituality hasn't reached that point of understanding, then I don't know what to say to you. Because what you're going to do is you're going to continue perpetuating the cycle of birth, suffering, old age, and death. Because you still have this love and light stupid shit that's making you perpetuate more suffering into the world in the service of this malevolent deity that is running this world, who feeds off of that collective agony that you are bringing down in the form of your children, beings who you say you love. If you loved your children, you would have left them alone. You would not have subjected them to hell. You would not have brought them down to suffer many years and die. And these suffering that you can never know. You can never predict how your children will suffer. You're going to tell me that reincarnation is bad and that the world is illusion. You're going to talk a good game but not follow through it? What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck is your spirituality worth if all it does is serve the enemy? If all it does is serve the desire of this corrupt being to feed off of pain and misery? What are you doing? So no, I reject your Pollyanna bullshit. I reject this love and light shit that you're trying to push because it's in service to the evil one. True spirituality is a disgust for the world and its creator. True spirituality looks like disdain. It looks like rebellion against whatever put this thing in motion. True spirituality is a fire that raises up in you and says, I will not serve you. I will not give you more food to enjoy in the form of fresh children. I reject procreation. I will not bring another life into this world. I will not serve you. I will not go to your church. I will not attend your mosque. I will not go into your synagogues and worship you. That's true spirituality. That's the spirituality that's going to liberate you. But you have these people who just don't understand that. You have these people who are saying that they're spiritual and that they even worship and praise the God of this world who created it. And you're spiritual? You're spiritual when you offer your children into this world as another food source for this thing? For these monsters, this collected group of monsters, who are running the show on this planet? You think that's spirituality? Get the hell out of here. So that's my thing. I despise with a passion this pseudo-spiritual bullshit that doesn't see this stuff. And that's why I admire the anti-cosmic Gnostics, the left-hand path Gnostics. They see reality for what it is. They see that this world is under the sway of a corrupt and disgusting God. And to fall into his hands and give it what it wants is a form of surrender. No surrender to the demiurge. None. So until your spirituality reaches that point where you are in disgust about this entire thing, then quite frankly, I don't want to hear what you have to say about it. Because you can't even approach the fundamental aspect that this world is hell. This world is created as a hell. There was never a good day in Earth's creation. Everything feeds off of each other. Look at nature. You worship nature so much. Look at nature. Organisms eating each other, cannibalizing each other. Insects have wars. Literal species of animals who eat their young and who eat the young of other animals. Lions ripping open oxen and having their guts hang out while they're alive. And all this blood, carnage, and suffering. And you're going to say that Earth, that Mother Nature is a thing that you want? You want to give praise to that? Are you absolutely fucking insane? You have to be to say something like that. And then to claim that you are spiritual, that you are a Gnostic. Get the fuck out of here. No, you're not. No Gnostic would have ever imposed life into the realm of the demiurge. They knew better than that. They knew better than to bring a life into a world like this, where there is no benevolent God who is looking down to save our asses. No, that's not the case. They've been lying to us in the churches for years. So until your spirituality has awakened to that, I can't take it serious. India promotes the idea of reincarnation. They came up with the shit. It's an awful, vicious cycle that they're trying to escape. Yet India today has billions of people, and they're having children thousands per day. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why isn't the light bulb clicking? How can you be against something and actively perpetuate it? Too fucking stupid. So I can't stand this pseudo spiritual bullshit. I can't stand it. It's disgusting to me. And I honestly, sometimes I feel alone because it feels like I'm the only one who has this rare form of Gnosticism, this anti-matter, this anti-cosmic Gnosticism. And it's so hard to find other people who understand this to the level that I am talking, who understand this from a very spiritual perception. It's hard to find people like that. And it's even harder to find people who are committed to this. So long as I live, I swear I will never in my life bring a child into this world. To do so would be a sin against everything that I hold dear. To do so is an abomination. It is an abomination and an affront against my spirit. And I'll never do it. So I just wish that more people would wake up to this. I wish that the so-called spiritual people would step back and think about it. What are you doing other than feeding the enemy? What are you doing?